We'll now be moving on to the contested office of Selectmen, where we have Mr. Manning, Mr. Riley, and Ms. Lauder.
You should start to advertise because you're going to have a tough time overcoming me.
I know, Bernie, I'll just have to work harder.
Yes.
Welcome. Again, we're going to be starting with opening statements. You have 2 minutes. And Mr. Manning, you once again, by lottery, have been chosen to start first for giving your opening statement for the position of Selectman.
Good evening. I needn't repeat my introduction. My first priority as a Selectman is to establish a working relationship with the leading municipal officials in the neighboring communities, to confront the state legislators regarding the unfunded mandates they have imposed that are impelling our cities and towns into bankruptcy. Now is a particularly auspicious time to make responsible demands upon the House of Ill Fame. Think of Sal DeMacy and his corrupt cronies and a Senate of invertebrates basking in a scandal emanating from favors demanded by the state probation department in placing incompetents, family members, in-laws, and campaign contributors on criminal justice agencies. A pox on both their chambers for refusing to pass the mandatory seatbelt law by the 31st of March deadline, forcing the Commonwealth to forfeit $13.6 million in federal highway funds. This is a public safety disaster. Only 73% in Massachusetts buckle up, one of the lowest rates in the country. 32 states and the District of Columbia have the law on their books. As a career prosecutor, I sent a state senator to prison on bribery and larceny charges. Following his release, he was returned to the Howard Chambers as an elected state representative. I successfully prosecuted the state director of health. You're going to miss the rest.
Thank you. Mr. Riley.
Yes, good evening. And thank you for the legal woman for having us. For those who I have not met, my name is John Riley, and I currently serve as the chairman of the Board of Selectmen. A little background about myself: I was born in a little hospital in Cohasset, and I've lived here my entire life in Hingham. I own and operated my family business here in Hingham for over 40 years. I served as an elected member of the Planning Board for 21 years. I served on the Board of Selectmen for the last 6 years. I have an intimate knowledge of the town, its people, its infrastructure, and its needs. I've been proactive in reducing the cost of town government, but at the same time creating new sources of revenue. A couple of examples was my idea to create the Office of Community Planning to reduce cost and increase efficiencies among land use boards. At the same time, it was my idea to purchase and install the scale at the landfill that has been providing a revenue stream of $1,000 per week and growing for the town. One of the things that I'm most proud of is that I was the one who wrote and presented the article to take the Social Country Club by eminent domain. Had I not done that when I did it, there'd be approximately 140 houses built there today. The chief issue facing the town today is its affordability for those with modest means. I believe my vast experience in creating business and ideas for revenue is paramount in trying that will ensure families of modest means to be able to remain in Hingham. And finally, I would like to thank all the people for their tremendous amount of encouragement and support for me to seek a third term. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Lauder.
Thanks for coming tonight. I'm Irma Lauder, and believe most of you know me. I'm running for selectman because I love the town, and I want to continue to serve it and give back. I'm currently on the Government Study Committee. As part of that, we did a survey of the town where almost 500 people responded, about 22% on the internet. I've read every single one of those responses. The primary concern is the cost of living in Hingham. As a selectman, I will support the work of the Government Study Committee and look forward to being its liaison. I'm committed to working to address the cost of living in Hingham through prudent fiscal management, generation of new revenues, and bringing business to Hingham, and also supporting regionalization where it makes sense. The taxpayers in Hingham deserve no less than my total commitment to keeping the town affordable. Having served on the Advisory Committee and Capital, and being privileged to be the chair of each, I know the budgets intimately. Some people would say I know them by heart. I'll work for a much more open and transparent governmental process. We need to do a better job of informing the community about the specific plans we have to implement projects to make Hingham a better place to live. This is especially important as we go into a water company study, and I believe firmly there should be 3 selectmen sitting doing that study. I look forward to a better relationship with the Hingham Light Plant. I respect and have a great friendship with all 3 people on the board, and we need to collaborate a lot more. I'm concerned about the harbor. I want to become very involved in that. I've enjoyed the harbor for over 40 years from the water and from the land, and I'm the only one, either a sitting board of selectmen or anyone running, that has done that. I am going to also always be accessible to people. Most of you know I'm all over the place and easily found. I return phone calls and I respond to email. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll start with the question portion. Just a reminder, you have 1 minute for each of these, for the answers for each of these questions.